It started with one phrase. We were sitting on the windowsill, the wide one where we always drink coffee on Saturdays. Outside, the rain was steady, autumnal, so much so that you wanted to stay put. You held your cup in both hands and looked out the window at the wet street. I was looking at you, and you suddenly said, quietly, almost to yourself, "Do you know what I want? To wake up in a different place every time, but for the house to be the same." I looked at you. "How is that?" You turned around. There was that spark in your eyes, the one that appeared after Florida and that I had learned to recognize. "A caravan," you said. "A house on wheels." I didn't answer right away. I just sat there and felt this idea unfolding inside me, slowly, like a flower. At first it seemed strange, then interesting. Then the only right one, a house on wheels, waking up by the ocean or in the mountains, or in the middle of a Texas sunset that burns orange and gold as far as the eye can see. And with it, your coffee, your exercise mat, my mirror in which I learned to look at myself. Our home is simply on wheels. "Tell me more," I said. And you started to tell me. It turns out you've been thinking about this for weeks. Reading, watching videos, studying. The way you do when something is really fascinating, quietly, carefully. And then you come and tell me everything at once. You opened your laptop and showed me the photos. I sat close, your shoulder touching mine, and we looked at the screen together. Modern camper vans are not the old vans I first imagined. Real little houses, with windows in the floor, with wood panels inside, with a bed that takes up the entire back, wide, with soft pillows, with a small window above your head through which you can see the stars at night. I looked, and my heart sank. From the beauty, from the fact that it was possible, from the fact that you thought about it and wanted to tell me. "Look," you said, and continued to leaf through. "Everything is here." You showed and explained with that lively voice that appears when you are really interested. The kitchen is small, but well thought out. A 2-burner stove, a small sink, open wooden shelves where jars of spices stand. Everything is compact, everything in its place, no unnecessary things, only what is needed. "I imagine how you make coffee there in the morning," you said. "The window is open, outside the forest or the ocean. It depends on where you stopped." I smiled. "And you are training outside at this time?" "Exactly," you said seriously. "A horizontal bar on a tree." We both laughed. You continued to talk, and I listened and imagined. The living room, if you can call it that. A small sofa along the wall that transforms into an additional seat if necessary. A folding table, windows on both sides, large, panoramic, so that light comes in from all sides. Colors, you showed options, and we discussed. Not white or gray. This is not ours. Warm wood, light, almost honey. Walls in cream or sand. Small details in terracotta and green. Pillows, towels, and a ceramic mug that will definitely stand on the shelf. "It looks like us," I said quietly. "I wanted it to look like us." You answered. Then you told me about campsites and stops all over America. I didn't know how many there were. It turns out there's a whole world for such travelers. National parks. You said that almost everyone has special places for campers, not just parking lots, real stops in the middle of nature. With electricity and water, with showers, and sometimes just a clearing among the redwoods or by a mountain lake, where there's nothing but silence and stars. In California, there are campsites right in the forest with redwoods. You said, the trees are so big that you feel small, but small as part of something huge. I caught my breath. What about Florida? I asked. We've been there before. But not like that, you said. There are campsites in the Everglades, among the marshes and birds, the sunrise over the water, and in the Keys, little islands one after another, and at the end of Key West where the warm sea begins and everything smells of flowers and salt. And what else? Arizona, you said, and showed me a photo. The Grand Canyon, there's a campsite right on the edge. You wake up, and there's a canyon in front of you. Millions of years of the earth in one glance. I looked at the photo and fell silent. There were no words. And then there's Utah, you continued. There are several national parks nearby. Zion, Bryce Canyon, Arches, Red Rocks, orange sand, blue sky. It looks like another planet. Are we going there? I asked quietly. We're going there, you said firmly. Then you told me about the Pacific Coast, Highway 1 in California, the road that runs along the coast. On one side the Pacific Ocean, on the other rocks and mountains, serpentine, fog, small towns clinging to the rocks above the water. There are campsites right above the coast, you said. You park your camper van on the edge of the cliff and listen to the ocean at night. It's different there, not warm like Florida, dark, cold with those big surfer waves, but beautiful in a different way, wild. I closed my eyes for a second. I imagined it. The open camper window, the smell of the autumn forest, coffee in my hands and all around me. Fiery leaves. You remember what I said about autumn in Vermont? I said quietly. I remember everything you say. You answered simply. I just don't always show it. My thoughts drifted far away to that coming morning. I see us somewhere on the California coast. Early autumn, fog over the ocean, that grayish-blue morning color that only happens near the Pacific Ocean. Our camper stands on a small platform above the rocks. Honeysuckle inside, terracotta pillows, and a ceramic mug on the shelf. I wake up first. I get up quietly. You are still sleeping, your arm outstretched, your face relaxed, and you are so at home in this small space that has become our home. I throw on a light sweater, woolen, large, yours, and go outside. Morning. The air is cool and salty with a mist spreading over the water. The ocean below is dark, deep, with that even noise that never subsides. Far away, the silhouette of a rock in the mist. Somewhere a seagull is screaming. I sit on the small steps near the door of the camper van and hold the hot coffee in both hands. I look at the water. I think this is where I want to be. This is what it is all about, living. Then I hear the door open behind me, your steps, barefoot, on a metal step. You sit next to me, silently, with your coffee, and together we watch as the fog slowly lifts and reveals the ocean. The gray sky turns blue. The water turns dark blue. And the two of us are on the steps of the small house that brought us here. I came back from my thoughts. You were saying something about brands of campers. There are American, there are European ones that are sold here. There are used ones with mileage but in good condition. You said that some people rent them first, for 2 weeks, to see if this way of life is suitable. Let's rent them first, you suggested. We'll go for 2 weeks, Florida, Keys, Everglades, and then we'll decide. I looked at you. You've already thought of a route. I've thought of a few, you said honestly. I laughed, and I thought, here he is, the man who plans trips instead of work. Here is my beloved, so alive, so happy and joyful. Who remembers what I said about autumn in Vermont? He came back. We came back. And ahead, a whole continent. You closed your laptop. You took my face in your palm, as you do when you want me to hear for sure. We deserve this, you said. Both of us. Enough working for other people's dreams. It's time to build your own. I looked at you and felt something very big inside. Not just joy, something deeper, gratitude that you've changed, that you're back, that you're now looking ahead and taking me with you. Okay, I said quietly. Let's go. You smiled, wide really, to the eyes. Let's go. That evening we sat together for a long time. We looked at the routes, read traveler reviews, laughed at funny stories from forums. Someone got stuck in a swamp in the Everglades. Someone forgot to close the window during the rain in Oregon. You made tea, my favorite, with ginger, and we sat in the same silence that had become ours. Warm, full. Can you imagine how we're going? I asked. I imagine, you said. You control the music. I control the steering wheel. A fair share, I said seriously. You laughed, the kind of laugh that warms my heart. Dear listener, do you think these kinds of dreams aren't for you? What are they for the young or the rich or those who have already made it in life? No. Dreams have no expiration date. They wait, quietly, patiently, for you to stop long enough to hear them. Stop. Listen. And then open the map, show it to your person, and say, do you know what I want? Maybe they'll say, me too. And then, buy that house on wheels. America's big. There are enough roads for everyone. If my story resonated with you, or you also dream of such a life, write the word dream in the comments, and it will definitely come true. Thank you for being here. Until next time.